Okay. So these opulences are so amazing that reading it sometimes leaves us awestruck. Wonderful, wonderful opulences. So we will start today's session by offering obeisances to our deities, our presiding deities, Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. And let us recite our forward prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, I think everyone can see me now. Okay. Okay. So yes, very nice and very happy to be with all of you today. So let us recite today's shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, sloka number 28. Āyudhānām ahaṁ vajraṁ. Āyudhānām ahaṁ vajraṁ. Dhenūnām asmi kāma-dhuk. Dhenūnām asmi kāma-dhuk. Prajanaś cāsmi kandarpaḥ. Prajanaś cāsmi kandarpaḥ. Sarpāṇām asmi vāsukiḥ. Sarpāṇām asmi vāsukiḥ. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vāsuki. Okay, so here Krishna is revealing all of his opulences to all of us, of course, based on the request of Arjuna. So he has told us of so many opulences. Can anyone remember some of the opulences that Krishna has described? You can just unmute and tell us. Of Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the demigods, I am Indra. So many things, Krishna goes on to tell us.
Of mountain, I am Meru.
Of mountains, I am Meru. Very excellent. Thank you very much, Mataji. Yes, of mountains, I am Meru. So many wonderful things the Lord goes on to tell us. Okay. And in this shloka also, he's describing 4 more opulences. And let us look at those now in detail. Okay. Now, the first one, okay, Lord Krishna says that of thunderbolts, I am Vajra. Yes, Kalyani Mataji says of elephants. Krishna says that he's Airavat. Thank you, Mataji. So, of thunderbolts, I am vajraṁ. So, the vajraṁ is actually a very, very great weapon. It is also very, very deadly. Now, let us see a little about thunderbolts. So, these thunderbolts of vajraṁ, they are invoked by various mantras. And once released, these are not easy to retract. Only the person who has released can retract those thunderbolts again by certain mantras. Okay, and these thunderbolts are very, very, very focused. So when they are aimed at a certain person, it does not matter whether that person is in front of that thunderbolt or not. That thunderbolt will somehow go in search of and kill that person. Okay, so you can just imagine how great this weapon is. And Krishna says, of thunderbolts, I am vajraṁ, a very, very superior weapon. Okay, and what's the next one? One more thing to note about the vajraṁ. Okay, the lotus feet of Krishna, as we know, has many symbols, and the vajraṁ or thunderbolt is one of the symbols on the lotus feet of Krishna. This very great, powerful weapon is actually a symbol on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Next, Krishna says, dhenūnām asmi kāma-dhuk. So among cows, I am the wish-fulfilling cow. Who is this wish-fulfilling cow? None other than Surabhi. So in the Brahma Samhita, the first shloka we chant is Chintamani prakara satma sukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhira vipalayantam. Surabhira vipalayantam. So even in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma mentions the surabhi cow when he offers his prayers to Lord Krishna. This surabhi cow, it gives unlimited milk. Okay, these surabhi cows are in Goloka and they give unlimited milk. At any time, milk can be produced. So usually cows have their timing. If you know a little bit of farming and cow care, cow protection, cows have their timing, either in the morning or afternoon or evening when the milk is produced. But for the surabhi cow produces milk unlimitedly at any time. Milk is always available. Anytime you want, the surabhi cow can produce milk. And not just milk. This surabhi cow is desire fulfilling, wish fulfilling. Okay? So if we are around this cow and if we desire something or if we want something, then that desire gets fulfilled. That is the specialty and superiority of the surabhi cow. Very, very special and superior. And Krishna says that among cows, I am the surabhi. So the two things that Krishna has mentioned so far in this shloka, number 28, is among weapons, I am the thunderbolt, vajra, very focused weapon. And among cows, I am the surabhi, which is the desire-fulfilling cow, which produces unlimited milk. And the third point that Krishna says, prajanaś cāsmi kandarpaḥ. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Kandarpa is the sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representation of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna, but sex for the generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. So here, this is a very important statement regarding Kandarpa or Cupid or the representation of sex. Even in the 7th chapter, if you remember, we have seen this point where Krishna is saying, Dharma virudho bhuteshu kāmosmi bharatarshaba. Krishna tells Arjuna, oh, best of Bharatas, I am that sex which is used to beget Krishna conscious children, or which is not contrary to religious principles. So this is a very important point to note. That activity of sex, which is done for one's own sense gratification, that does not represent Krishna. But that activity which is done with the mood and intention of begetting a Krishna conscious child, Krishna says here that he is that activity, that Kandarpa. So we can understand how this act can be very sacred actually when it is used for the purpose of begetting Krishna conscious children. And finally, the fourth thing that Krishna says in this shloka is sarpāṇām asmi vāsukiḥ. We hope you remember the previous shloka where we spoke in one of the previous shlokas, which the devotees would have described, where we described the Sagar Manthan. The Mandara mountain was there. You know, in the Sagar Manthan, what happens? The churning of the milk ocean. There's the Mandara mountain. And below is Kurma, the tortoise incarnation of the Lord. And then on that tortoise incarnation, the Mandara Parvat was churned by a huge rod. This rod is none other than the serpent Vāsuki. So Krishna says here that amongst all one-hooded snakes, basically one-hooded snakes, I am the pious snake, which is Vāsuki. Of course, the next shloka, chapter 10, text 29, is very, very interesting and enlightening, which will be taken tomorrow. Here, Krishna ends by saying, I am the one-hooded snake, Vāsuki. And in that sloka, Krishna will start by saying, I, of many hooded snakes, I am Ananta, Ananta Dev. Okay, of course, more on that tomorrow. So today we end here with this, and we thank all of you for giving us this opportunity to discuss amongst you these wonderful opulences of the Lord, which are very, very enlightening and very, very beautiful to hear. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.